What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I actually saw a post from Temporal over on Twitter, and for anybody who doesn't know who Temporal is, basically he is a data miner, so he goes ahead and tries to find things that are in the code for the overall Battlefield 6 experience, and he finds a lot of interesting information all the time, and a lot of the things he finds comes true within the overall product. So, of course, if you guys don't want any spoilers for what's coming into the future of Battlefield 6 and the upcoming seasons, then by all means I would suggest clicking off. But if you guys don't mind hearing about the future of this game and you're curious about what's in store, then by all means stay tuned because we have a lot of stuff to go ahead and discuss today. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before going dive on deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing to the bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern time and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We pretty much go ahead and discuss everything FPS related, third-person shooter related. You know, I talk about Battlefield, COD, Ark Raiders, Splitgate, Gears of War, all of the above. So of course, if you guys are interested, subscribing to the bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. By all means, if you guys are interested, go link that channel down in the description of this video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, this is some official footage for you guys. This isn't data mined by Temporal. This is official, showcasing what we should expect coming in December. If you guys don't remember, we're getting a remake of Empire State, which is going to be completely snowed over with some other limited time events. And as you guys can see right here, it's looking pretty dang good. I'm very excited for this one. I know Empire State always gets a lot of hate, but personally, I never really hated it that much. Again, I have to take it in dosages because it is small. I treat it like Metro and Operation Locker, where I'll get a match or two in, but that's all I can really take because it's just so in your face, constant action, insanity. Nothing wrong with that, but, you know, I can't have it all the time. But, you know, I still don't think it's a bad map. And I think with a snowed over version, it's going to look really crispy. And also, the ice pick melee weapon is looking pretty dang awesome. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It might be kind of fun running around with this bad boy. Is it going to be something that I'm going to be completely obsessed with? No, it's just a melee weapon. So I really do hope that coming up in December, they actually have a decent amount of content planned, maybe some cosmetics, maybe some attachments, so on and so forth, that can really spice things up besides just having a melee weapon and a melee weapon only. But overall, it looks pretty cool, and I'm excited to give this one a shot. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the data mined information from Temporal. Now, I am actually going to showcase this on your screen just for a little bit. I'm not going to showcase it the whole time because there's a lot of stuff to discuss. But I just want you guys to see all the weapons that are, again, data mined for future content drops. The MG5, the Bren 2, the Scorpion Evo looking sexy as ever, and the Scorpion VZ61, guys. This is looking like a pretty dang good lineup, and this is supposed to be planned for Season 2 of Battlefield 6. And I'm liking that. I think that's a pretty good rotation of weapons there. An LMG. I believe the Bren 2 is an AR. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either an AR or a carbine. I'm assuming it's an AR. Actually, no, I think it might actually be a carbine. Again, I know you guys are geniuses down in the comment section. I'm sure you guys will let me know. The Scorpion Evo is what I'm most excited about. That's going to be really cool. And then, you know what? I said the Scorpion Evo. I stand corrected. I think the Scorpion VZ is going to be so freaking awesome to witness because I do love this weapon a ton. It's not going to be a primary weapon within Battlefield 6. It's actually going to be a secondary according to the data mined information, which might be pretty cool. I'm assuming it's not going to be very, very powerful. You probably will be able to maybe take out maybe a player if you're lucky and maybe get a little bit of damage into someone else. We'll see how this turns out. But I think this is a pretty good rotation of weapons. And from my personal perspective, what I enjoy, playing with, I'm going to be taking advantage of all of this. I'm not going to lie to you guys, when it comes to snipers and DMRs and stuff like that, not really my bread and butter. I'm happy for you guys, other players out there who enjoy that stuff. It's great that you guys get new content, but you guys know me. I love my fully autos. I love my ARs, my carbines, my SMGs, even LMGs I can kind of rock with a little bit. Not all the time, but, usually that's probably as far as I'll branch out sometimes. And to see that's literally all we're getting with Season 2 is putting a massive smile on my face. It's going to be some fun content to mess around with. And of course, you guys probably already saw it when I flashed up the image, but we're supposed to be getting the Little Bird in Season 2, finally. Now, I will say, I gotta be honest here, although I'm very happy, and I don't want to be stupidly negative here, it is very strange that the Little Bird was not at the launch of Battlefield 6. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it took a little extra balancing. I don't know what the issue is here, but typically this is a standard type of helicopter to introduce into a modern style of Battlefield game, even near future, and to see it take all the way until Season 2, I thought it was going to be Season 1. I'm going to be real with you guys. I genuinely thought that Season 1, or maybe the middle of Season 1, we would see the Little Bird. I was hoping by the December update, but now seeing that we got to wait until Season 2, It is what it is, but it does kind of suck that we couldn't get it right away. But it is nice seeing that it's going to be coming on through. The primary weapons are going to consist of a minigun, the GAU-19, and the LR-30. The secondary weapons are going to be the APKWS, Hellfire, Hydra 70, and Stinger. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't know what some of the stuff is, but again, you guys are always welcome to go in the comment section and, kind of give your own 2 cents. And then when it comes down to the equipment that you can use on the little bird, you get flares, a motion sensor, or thermal smoke. And then in the passenger seat, they will be able to either use a thermal scanner or a directional jammer. All I gotta say is I'm really excited for this because I like flying in Battlefield, but the attack choppers are always a little bit, of a slower playstyle than I enjoy. I guess it is a good thing that the little bird didn't come right away, because if it did, I would only use the little bird and I would never use the attack chopper. And it gave me some time to get used to the attack chopper and, kinda understand it. And I've gotten a lot better. I will say I have gotten a lot better and I enjoyed a ton. But I am a little bird lover. I love flying in Battlefield games, but it's typically with a little bird. So this is going to be tons of fun for me, and I can't wait to grind this out within Season 2. I'm just hoping that the Season 2 maps are going to be a little bit better for flying, but only time will tell. Then we're also getting some gadgets within Season 2. The Sich G1 Frag, which is an airburst grenade launcher. Basically, as you guys already know, I don't want to use this example, but from 2042, I forget the character's name, where he has the special launcher that explodes mid-air. That's basically what this is going to be. So if someone's hiding behind a head glitch or something like that, if you can angle it correctly or position yourself correctly, you'll be able to shoot over that head glitch and have it explode right as it hovers over the enemy, which will allow you to take people out from pretty, pesky positions. So this should be kind of fun to mess around with. The GL40 STKY, a sticky grenade launcher. This one right here is going to be extremely fun to mess around with, and they described it as being able to either carry it standalone or underslung. So this is going to be actually kind of fun. They also have the M320A1AT, the anti-vehicle grenade launcher, which once again can be carried standalone or underslung. And finally, the RGO impact grenade. Basically, as it says, an impact grenade. So on impact, it's going to explode. Not a bad lineup here between weapons, vehicles, and also the overall gadget list. I'm liking this. But the biggest factor, ladies and gentlemen, again, you guys might have already saw it when I showcased the image earlier, but this is what I'm most excited for. Don't get me wrong. All of this stuff sounds really cool, and, it's going to be fun to play around with. But Season 3 has some info. Again, maybe we'll get it before Season 3. I hope we do. I really do, because Season 3 is going to be quite a ways out. But Season 3, from the JbowenDaMan information, is going to have jet skis. And ladies and gentlemen, you already know what that means. If we are going to be able to have jet skis, that means naval combat is finally coming, especially from the words of the developers themselves. They already heard us when it comes to naval combat and said they're going to be delivering later on. So I am assuming Season 3 is going to be the season that is going to be hyper-prioritized and focused around naval warfare. I can't freaking wait, guys. I've been saying it time and time and time again, and I genuinely think that you guys probably feel the exact same way. But when it comes to Battlefield 6, one of the biggest things that's missing right now to, make it an overall fantastic experience, well, one, obviously, much larger maps to have that variety in place, but two, naval warfare. For me personally, infantry is awesome, riding around tanks is awesome on a lot of these maps, but sadly, we have absolutely no naval combat. And ladies and gentlemen, do you want to know what my biggest fear is right now? The thing that I'm scared of the frickin' most? God, I am horrified of the thought that DICE, their version of, oh, we hear you, you guys want some naval, stuff going on here, is again just adding jet skis and giving us some maps with, small bodies of water, but that's basically it. And of course, the jet skis will be used to get from point A to point B, or you have to swim across. It won't be that much to it. That is my biggest freaking fear. I am really keep my fingers crossed that is not the case, and that we will get actual real boats, real, just real naval warfare, not just jet skis to get around. No, I want to fight in the water. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to enjoy. They made it sound like that, but you never know. You never know what the end result is going to be. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it turns out that we get actual naval warfare. That's what it's all about. I think that's what everybody is craving. And if they do the opposite, it's going to be a huge bummer. And I'm not going to lie, that's going to bring a lot of bad rep, especially after they already claim that they hear us. And I think the community made themselves very clear. I don't think anybody out there, when they were talking about naval warfare, made it seem like we just want jet skis to go right around. I think everybody made it extraordinarily clear. So it will be a tone-deaf move. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we will see more. And keep in mind, we don't even have the Lil Bird in the game, which, again, people are going to say, well, what the heck does that have to do with anything? Well, if they're still working on, core important vehicles that, are there for combat, then who's to say they're not working on some other naval vehicles that are made for combat behind the scenes that we just haven't seen yet? Who knows, but I'm really hoping for this one. But ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. The content lineup is looking really good. I'm just curious about the map lineup because this only showcases weapons, gadgets, and, another vehicle. I want to know how many maps are going to be in Season 2, and at the same time, I want to know how long the season's going to be. This content sounds great and all, but if we only get one singular map for Season 2, that'll kind of make things rough. So I hope we get a decent amount of content. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but at least two. At least two, and maybe another, weather remake of another map, like how they handled Season 1. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. I understand Battlefield maps are larger, more complex to make, but, we really have to go crazy this time around. 2042 did a massive, massive amount of damage to Battlefield's reputation and the community. They have no wiggle room to mess around here, and I think they're doing a great job. They're so far killing it with the overall experience, and they're making sure things are, getting done. And yeah, more bugs are presenting themselves, but I guarantee that those bugs are already getting worked on, like the defib bug, for example. They already addressed it. They already put out a hot fix that helped it a little bit. Still not completely there, but it's much better than it was before. And obviously, they'll keep tugging away. But, they got to keep going. It's no time to slow down. It's only time to keep going more and more and more. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget subscribing to the bell. I post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and the second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are interested, got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.